What's up, Ryan Kohler here, and I just want to take a minute and take you on a speed date with me and ChatGPT. I was actually just got back from National SHRM, just got done speaking at a few webinars, and I was quite surprised at how few HR people have ever even logged into ChatGPT, let alone seen it in action, and more importantly, seen it do something that they would do at work so they had some way to compare it to doing it manually. So I figured I'd take a minute today, jump to my own ChatGPT account, and show you how I would rewrite one of my clients' job ads. Just keep in mind, I'm a recruitment marketing expert. So that means, from my perspective, generating more applicants for your jobs has more to do with who your target is and what your content says than it does the job boards. And in this instance, the number one way for you to increase the quantity and quality of applicants you're getting for your jobs is to rewrite your ad to make it more compelling, more engaging, and literally just doing what I'm going to show you how to do today. So, what does that mean? Well, the best way to think about ChatGPT is that this is like hiring an assistant to write the rough draft for you. What does that mean? Well, they might know a whole bunch of stuff, but they don't know anything specifically about you. Now, when that comes to ChatGPT, it knows way too much stuff. It knows everything about everything, but nothing specifically about what you want, what you mean when you say job ad, what the context is of what it's like to work for you, your jobs, the requirements, etc. And so just keep that in mind. If you don't give it context, it's going to guess. So we want to give it context. At that point, we can run a prompt. So let me jump in and I'll show you. I'm actually just going to grab one of these jobs right here that's open. One of my clients is hiring a copywriter. Easiest way for me to show exactly how this works is just go snag their current job. Now, clearly, I could also have done the same thing by grabbing one of my competitors' jobs. Now, I'm going to use my notes over here just to have the information. And so I'm going to start off like I'm starting a conversation. Each of these, and that's how I refer to it, as a conversation. Each of these in the left are my conversation threads, and the conversation I'm in right now gives context. The context does not cross conversation. So in this instance, I'm going to start off. Can you help me write some recruitment marketing content? Awesome. Now at this point, I can go and grab my job ad from the job boards, throw it in here, and now it has some context. The longer this thread gets, the more information I put in up above, the more it's going to rely on that instead of its own language model. So at this point, it just basically rewrote the job description that was already on the job boards. And so I'm going to come over here and start by saying, hey, let's do a little keyword research. What are some popular job titles and keywords that qualified job seekers might be searching for? And so it's going to pull back some of these keywords and some of these other job titles: marketing writer, creative writer, content writer. Definitely, we tend to refer in the digital marketing space to content, not copywriter. And so based off of this, I might want to change the keywords. Let's focus on content writer and SEO copywriter, right? So now at this point, I'm now kind of evolving what my job title is that I'm working on. And it's still running here. It stopped generating, right? So we're going to focus on this kind of keyword. Perfect. Now at this point, it's coming back at me with responses. And just like if I'd hire an assistant, I got to hear their response, make sure that they understand what I was telling them. And if not, I need to give them feedback or adjust so that we get on the same page. And that's really the way to think about this conversation thread. I'm sending it something, it's sending it back. If I think it's wrong, I should tell it. No, I don't mean that, I mean this. At this point now, I can take and say, what are some jobs that people are working in now that would make them qualified for this job? Now it's going to give me, once again, some other job titles to think about, just to make sure I've got my job title nailed down. Now, at this point, I'm going to have it actually rewrite the job ad. And what I'm telling it is rewrite the job ad not as a legal job description, but as a compelling and engaging job seeker focused ad, right? Now I've given it very specific instructions about what kind of job ad I mean, right? You'll see now it's like what you'll do, what you'll bring, why join us. This is a much more engaging job ad. I still don't love how many bullet points there are in there. And so I may want to change that by telling it, hey, can you rewrite what you'll bring into a story or anything like that. The main reason I don't like bullet points is even if my content's captivating and engaging, seeing bullet points might remind job seekers and make them think this is just a normal job description. And so I could ask it right at this point, say, rewrite the what you'll do section. Right? Now it's going to rewrite that section to make it more like a story, and I can swap those out. Will that make my ad longer? It definitely will. But this is a very engaging ad, and so I'm not too worried about how long it is. Now at this point, I can jump back over and say, ooh, let's now, when all these people start applying, I need some screening questions. Let's create a list of multiple choice screening questions for this job, right? And so you can see it's going through the questions one by one that I could use if I wanted to ask it to assign scores to it, to ask it to assign weighting and ranking to them. I could also tell it to change the way that the answers are written to make them more witty or engaging. But I've got my multiple choice questions for my ATS. Now, maybe I want a list of phone screening questions to ask candidates for this job. Now, once again, keep in mind, I haven't actually fed it any information about our culture, our values, our own opinion about requirements, who we like to target. I'm still going from just the job description I gave it. And finally, let's go ahead and have it write us some behavioral interview questions. Now, at this point, it's created a great draft of an ad, of screening questions, of phone interview questions, and of actual behavioral interview questions. Is it perfect? It might be. I don't know. I need to review it because it just gave me a draft. And once again, going back to our concept on here, we didn't give it very much backstory. We didn't give it our goals. We didn't give it our context. And so that means the quality of content or the specificity of it, and not quality, is represented by how much I put into it. You get out what you put into this. Garbage in, garbage out. Or more specific, generic, random, vague requests in, you're going to potentially get random generic content out. But at this point, if we go back and look at this job ad, I would say it's pretty solid. I would say that in about less than 5 to 10 minutes, I was able to create more content that would have taken hours for me in the past. And this right here should be a huge eye-opener about the potential power of ChatGPT. The second thing to think about if you're concerned about security and IP and all that kind of stuff is at this point, all this information is going to be put out there anyway. All of this information from the job ad, the job description, the screening questions, et cetera, are things that we put out to generate applicants, and therefore they are public information anyway. There's no worry about us uploading this content, even though I don't think that's a worry anyway. But just to give you an example, just using this one setup could save the average HR person hours per month, some of them hours per week, by using this one little tweak and using ChatGPT for less than $20 a month. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll talk to you later.